Marcus wiped the grease from his hands as he watched the twin suns set over his scrapyard. The old mechanic had seen better days. His shop was failing, creditors were circling, and his last functional starship, the Maiden's Prayer, sat rusting in Bay 7. It was all he had left. The two figures who appeared at his gate that evening were unlike any customers he'd encountered in 40 years of business. They were Drakari, dragonkin from the Scorched Nebula, their scaled skin shimmering with bioluminescent patterns, their eyes vertical slits of amber fire. Sisters, he guessed from the way they moved in synchrony. Human mechanic, the taller one spoke, her voice like wind through canyons. "We need passage, immediately." Marcus studied them. Their clothes were torn, their scales dulled with exhaustion. One sister had a wound along her shoulder, poorly bandaged. "Refugees, then. Or fugitives. Can you pay?" he asked, though he already knew the answer. The shorter sister's eyes flashed with desperate pride. "We have nothing. But our father—" "Your father isn't here," Marcus interrupted gently. "And I don't extend credit to ghosts." They stood in silence, the desert wind howling around them. Marcus should have turned them away. The Maiden's Prayer was his retirement, his escape route, his last chance, but something in their eyes reminded him of his own daughter, lost years ago to the Consortium Wars. "Bay 7, he sighed. "She's fueled and ready. Navigation system's buggy, but she'll get you 3 systems out if you're careful." The sisters stared at him, uncomprehending. "Go," Marcus said, "before I change my mind." The taller sister stepped forward, placing a clawed hand on his shoulder. "You give us your last ship." "This debt, no debt," Marcus cut her off. "Just tell your father a human helped you. Maybe that'll mean something someday." They left at midnight, the Maiden's Prayer disappearing into the star-filled sky with a roar that shook Marcus's entire shop. He stood alone in the darkness, wondering if he'd just made the biggest mistake of his life. Dawn came with thunder. Marcus jolted awake to the sound of atmospheric entry, dozens of ships burning through the sky. He stumbled outside, shielding his eyes against the rising suns, and froze. The armada descending toward his scrapyard was magnificent and terrifying. 310 warships, each bearing the crimson banner of the Drakari flame clans. Battlecruisers, destroyers, and fighter craft arranged in perfect formation, their hulls gleaming like scales of ancient dragons. At the center of the formation was a dreadnought the size of a small moon, the Sovereign's Wrath, flagship of Lord Vermithrax, Dragon King of the Scorched Nebula. Marcus's legs nearly gave out. What had those sisters been running from that their father would bring an entire fleet? The dreadnought landed vertically in the desert beyond his shop, its landing thrusters scorching the sand to glass. The boarding ramp descended, and down it walked a figure that made Marcus's breath catch. Lord Vermithrax stood 12 feet tall, his natural dragon form barely contained in a semi-humanoid shape. His scales were deep crimson edged with gold. His wings folded against his back like cloaks of living flame. Ancient scars crisscrossed his body, testimonies to 1,000 battles. Behind him marched an honor guard of 200 warriors, their weapons gleaming in the morning light. Marcus stood frozen as the Dragon Lord approached, each footfall making the ground tremble. The alien warrior stopped 10 feet away, towering over the old mechanic. "You are Marcus Chen," Vermithrax's voice rumbled like distant thunder. "The human who gave his last starship to my daughters. Yes, sir." "My lord, your majesty," Marcus stammered. "They were fleeing assassins sent by the Void Covenant," Vermithrax continued. "Without your vessel, they would have died. You gave them everything you had, asking nothing in return." Marcus swallowed hard. "They needed it more than I did." Vermithrax studied him for a long moment, then slowly inclined his massive head, a gesture of profound respect among the Drakari. "The Flame Clans do not forget debts of honor," the Dragon Lord declared. "You saved my bloodline. My daughters are my heart, my legacy, my future. For this human, Marcus Chen, you have earned something few of your species ever receive. The eternal friendship of the Drakari." He turned and gestured. From the fleet overhead, cargo ships began descending, their holds open. 100 of my finest warships are now yours to command or sell as you wish," Vermithrax announced. 10 million credits in rare metals. Master engineers to rebuild your shop into the finest shipyard in 3 sectors. And this, the Dragon Lord produced a medallion from his armor, its surface engraved with flowing script in the old Drakari language. He placed it in Marcus's trembling hands. The claw of Vermithrax. Any who bear this medallion speaks with my voice, commands my resources, and carries my protection. You are clan now, human. You are family. Marcus looked down at the medallion, then up at the armada filling the sky. Tears stung his eyes. I only gave them a ship, he whispered. Vermithrax's laugh was like rolling thunder. You gave them hope, Marcus Chen. You showed them that even in the darkest void, kindness still exists. That is worth more than any fleet. The Dragon Lord placed one massive clawed hand on Marcus's shoulder. Besides, Vermithrax added, his eyes gleaming with ancient wisdom, my daughters told me you thought I was a ghost. I am very much real and very much grateful. Now shall we discuss how to properly fortify this scrapyard? The Void Covenant has a long memory, and you are now under the protection of the Flame Clans. They will come for you. Marcus looked at the old mechanic's yard that had been his prison, now surrounded by an army of dragon warriors and the most powerful warships in 3 sectors. He smiled, gripping the medallion tight. I think, Lord Vermithrax, I'm going to need a bigger shop.